big drama continues to unfold in the streamer guild OnlyFangs. Recently, a group of 5 consisting of PirateSoftware, Yamato, Snuppy, Ozzy, and Sarah was running Diremaul. They pull a mob, a pack of mobs, while the healer isn't at full mana, and the mage is at less than half mana. A bad pull. They don't pull it back to safety. They don't line of sight, which they could have done around this. They don't pull the mobs back. They just fight them on the ramp that's in front of them. Well, that pulls another pack of mobs that's nearby, and then that pulls the boss. So they panicked. They start shouting, and Yamato, who I've enjoyed watching, Yamato, not real experienced with WoW prior to this. He's done quite well. He's ran a lot of dungeons with Tyler. Very entertaining to watch. Funny guy. I like him, but in this situation, he was dead wrong. So he shouts, "Run, run, 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 run." Right? Which, fair enough. So they start running. PirateSoftware, being incredibly low on mana, turns, blinks away, and the group all starts running away to exit the dungeon. So they get to the ramp that's behind them, and Yamato realizes that PirateSoftware has blinked away. There's a big distance. First PirateSoftware turns at one point and casts a blizzard on the mobs. So he turns, waits for the mobs to get in the max range of his blizzard, and he casts a full rank blizzard on the mobs, which he should have done rank 1, but whatever. So they continue to run, and Pirate full roaches out, but rightfully so. That's what he was told to do. So at one point Yamato says, "This is manageable," and they start smacking the mobs. Kind of ridiculous. They needed to fully commit to running out. If they fully committed to running out and ran in the most straight path to get out of the dungeon as quickly as possible, they all would have survived. Or if they never ran at all and just fought the 2 packs and the boss, they also would have survived. The warrior had cooldowns. He had shield wall, last stand, or whatever. He would have survived. They would have been okay. None of the characters would have died. Or if they fully roached out, which was called, they all would have survived. So, sorry, I have a bit of a cold. I keep coughing. So, Pirate casts some more blinks to get out of the dungeon, and gets out of the dungeon first. And Yamato starts yelling at him. Why are you running? Why you walk away? And the druid Snuppy, he loses his character. His character dies. And so does Sarah, the healer, the priest. And the others, they all make it out. So Ozzy, Yamato, and Pirate, their characters make it out of the dungeon safely. Now, Yamato loses his mind in anger, because he is flaming Pirate before any of them even make it out of the dungeon. He's like, "You could have cast Frost Nova." And Pirate says, "I have no mana. What do you expect me to do?" Which Yamato goes on to complain about this and just rage about this for quite a bit. And other people kind of take his side, and some people don't. And one of those people who gets involved with it is Asmongold, who reacts to it. And you can see here, he's got over 100K live viewers as he reviews the footage and talks with Yamato about this. And Yamato is very upset. Very much thinks he's in the right. So Yamato insists that Pirate needs to take accountability, that he could have done more, he could have saved the group. And Asmon fully disagrees. Asmon's like, well, you know, the mobs aren't CCable. And his argument is because the boss isn't CCable. And he reviews the footage and notices that the druid randomly jumps and aggro's a third pack, like, while they're running out. Which, yes, very dumb. And that Yamato uses blind on the boss right shortly before, like, leaving the dungeon. He quickly throws a blind. Nothing else was really in range of him when he did that. And yes, it was totally unnecessary because you can't blind the boss. So, like, that's kind of a fair thing for a noob to do, right? Like, I don't begrudge Yamato for throwing a spell, even though it's completely ineffective. But Asmon literally says that Pirate, even if he tried to help, it would be no help. Even if he cast, like, a rank 1 Blizzard and a Frost Nova, it wouldn't help because it wouldn't CC the boss. But the thing is, it would CC all the other mobs. It absolutely would. Like, a Cone of Cold is a huge CC spell. It enormously reduces the speed of those mobs, which would allow the entire group to create a lot more distance and get out a lot more safely. And same thing with Frost Nova. These are some of the most valuable CC spells in the game. Like, that would make a giant difference and would also save the group. Asmon points out that if they just didn't run, they would have survived. If they would have all just ran straight for the exit and not turned around and not wasted time, and not said, oh, this is salvageable, and turned around and started smacking mobs as they're running out. Because literally, this was not an optimal run out. But I think where Yamato's failing to understand is when you say run, that is communicating to Roachout, full Roachout, every man for himself, get out of this dungeon as quickly as physically possible. Hearth out, Petri, do whatever you can. You need to leave the dungeon this instant. To me, that would communicate. If someone is shouting run in a full panic mode, that to me, that's someone saying the tank's about to die in 1 second. The healer's about to die in 1 second. If even one of us gets out of this dungeon and survives, it will be a miracle. That's what you're communicating. You're basically telling the mage to blink, do whatever you can, get out ASAP. At all costs. Now, if you wanted him to stick around, which would have been a better move. Well, actually, I feel like the full Roachout is actually the better play. It's the less risky play, is the full Roachout, where everyone just gets out of the dungeon. Your group could have done that, and you all would have survived. Absolutely, no question about it. That would have been the best play. So really, you communicated to him to roach out, and he roached out, and that was the best play. But he even turned around and cast a blizzard, so it wasn't even a full 100% roach out. Pirate could have gotten out of that dungeon a lot faster. So Yamato was definitely out of line. Like, he needs to understand that you could have said, alright, we need to exit the dungeon, we can't fight this, let's work our way to the exit. But you saying run is telling people fully roach out, which is why Pirate instantly turned and blinked towards the exit. Like, he's spending mana, depleting his resources, his ability to survive in this situation, to do what you told him to do in a absolute panic. Like, it's up to you to not panic. because your panic is going to spread to other people. This is true of any kind of like high stress, any kind of like emergency response scenario, is you need to keep your cool. That's like number one, the most important thing is to remain calm. Because your panic depletes your decision making. Right? So when you're spreading that panic to other people, you're kind of depleting their ability to make optimal decisions as well. And you need to understand that. Like, communication would have saved this group. Better communication would have saved this group in multiple ways. And I think stuff like Snuppy jumping towards that pack as they were leaving and aggroing another pack, yes, very stupid, very noob gameplay. They should have been hugging the wall. Like, this was just terrible gameplay. But I don't think that even matters. Like, maybe one more of them would have survived. Like, maybe, I think Snuppy still would have survived and just the priest would have died. But he got himself killed there. So yeah, Asmongold, hugely wrong, hugely ridiculous, saying that just because the boss can't be CC'd, that if Pirate had stuck around, that he wouldn't have helped, it wouldn't have changed anything. It absolutely would have. Like, if he Cone of Cold and Frost Nova'd, he would have saved the entire group as well. And he would still have Blink. And he still had a mana gem that he didn't use. And he probably had some potions. Like, he could have done that and very safely escaped the dungeon. Like, I played a mage in Vanilla and Burning Crusade, OG, so, like, not like WoW Classic and WoW Classic Burning Crusade. I'm talking Vanilla. So, like, years longer of, you know, these expansions or whatever being out. So, played a lot of mage early into World of Warcraft, and I would have saved the group, and my character wouldn't have been in danger even remotely. But that's me. So yeah, ridiculous. I think Yamato was ridiculous and overreacted. I think Pirate, he's right. He was told to full roach out. Did he need to full roach out? Him being an experienced player, I feel like he could have realized, hey, these guys are kind of noobs, and like, maybe I should like not be as, like, just do the optimal play for everyone. But when you're told run, you're probably assuming that the group isn't doing the goofy things that they're doing, that they're turning their characters around and smacking the mobs and randomly jumping around and not just beelining it for the exit. That's what was communicated was going to happen. So Pirate couldn't have known that these idiots would have turned around and been like, oh, it's salvageable, and started like fighting the mobs and pulling another pack. Like, he couldn't have predicted that. That's dumb. Like, you can't predict the bad decisions that other people are gonna make, right? Like, that's another thing with like emergency scenarios. Your default is to kind of assume that most of the people involved in an emergency response are going to like be able to keep their cool and make the right decisions. But there's going to be some kind of, something's going to go wrong, someone's going to do something dumb. It happens. It's just kind of a thing about human behavior. And yeah, you called the full Roachout, and Pirate couldn't have been able to predict that that's not exactly what the group was going to do. It's probably what they should have done. I think that's the safest possible play. I think that's even a better play than if they had just fought the mobs to begin with and never ran out. I think the safest, best play is they all turn their characters and all just run out of the dungeon, and they all would have survived. So I think it was actually exactly the right call to just run straight out, but these players don't know how to run straight out of a dungeon, I guess.